All praises, all praises, all praises to the holy power creator of eternity and infinity and the universe. All praises that we are able to come back together again. I am always thankful, and it is a great privilege and an honor and an absolute pleasure for me to come back before you to make presentation. This is Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit. And the Holy Spirit continues to work through me. I had a wonderful conversation earlier, last week, and I met a gentleman, and his name is Brother Bill, and the conversation was so wonderful. I said, you know what? Please let me come back and speak with you. And if you would, let me put it on recording so I can put it out to the world. You had some wonderful insights and thoughts. So Brother Bill has inspired a new series called Wisdom, History, and Experience. So we are going to send this out to the scattered tribes of Israel all over the globe, as well as the brothers and sisters I call or refer to as pending Israelites, and all the brothers and sisters of the audience who refer to themselves as Moors and melanated, original man and children of God, the indigenous and aboriginals, the colored, copper colored, people of color, the Afro and African Americans, the natives, Negroes and niggas, the descendants of slaves, and those conquered and colonized. We are back together, family. I am hugging all of you. I love all of you. Thank you for joining this evening. I am not going to hold it up. I am going to turn it over and let Brother Bill do his thing. We are going to sit down, be quiet and still, and listen to another one of the humble servants of the Holy Power Creator give us his testimony. So here we go. All right, family, we are here today, and we are sitting with Brother Bill, who is offering us his testimony today of wisdom, history, and experience. So we are turning over the microphone to Brother Bill, and he's going to give us his life, his thoughts, his understanding. So without any ado, here is Brother Bill. We offer him our thanks and appreciation and respect for today's testimony. All right, Brother Bill, you proceed.
Hello, my name is considered by my brother Bill today. And I just, talk about growing up and down, in the South. Grandparents, sharecroppers. Parents grew up, as sharecropper kids. So that means you worked in the fields. Some education, not a whole lot. My father, I don't think I know he didn't graduate high school. Well, my mother didn't graduate from high school either, but she knew how to read and write, so I mean. But my father, even today, I wonder how the guys like him made it, and you can really empathize and respect, even though you're dead and gone, you think about it, you even give him even more respect now, considering how things were back in the day when they came up and stuff, you know. And even the day when we come up, come from a little town, no street lights, no stoplights, basically just a little small town that like a strip mining town, you know. Most of the people down there worked in the mine down in Alabama. Most people, you know, back in the old days, you know, strip mining and whatever, cotton picking or whatever else. But my father worked in the strip mine and stuff. And in when I was born in 1949. So about even before then, you know, my father probably was back maybe when I was born, maybe about 22, 23 maybe. And back in those days, people married early, 14, 15 years old. And most of them had a lot of, you know, kids, bunch of kids. Like my family, we had, I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters. I've got a brother, my older brother passed away, my older sister passed. But, well, you know, we had even people down there had 12, 13, 14 kids, and you wonder how they made it and survived, because most of the houses we had down there were like 4 room homes, and you might have some of 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 10 boys, and 2 or 3 girls, 4 girls, or it might be, you know, the other way around, a bunch of girls and few boys, but everybody stayed in that same house and grew up. You didn't think about being poor and stuff, because you think about how other people live, because oftentimes and not, that was the only place you had ever been. You know, you had never been to no big place like city. When I come from, like Leeds or so, go to Leeds shopping and stuff. Then that was Birmingham. You go to Birmingham, like that was basically the furthest place you went, because oftentimes and not, you didn't have no car, transportation and stuff. And but everybody, you know, got along, basically because everybody knew each other. You know, we called it, why we stayed at, it was called Lonely Hill, a place called Akmar, Alabama. And then we had another little, what I call it, a camp. I guess by the, you know, had the strip mine for people who stayed in different places and stuff. And they had different places that they was working in the mines and stuff. And they had a place called New Camp in number 2. And where we stayed was on the hill. Then another little area called New Camp, that's what it called. Yeah, other place called the New Camp and stuff. But you know, everybody knew each other. We called it down the road. We had one road, houses on both sides of the road, dirt roads. But eventually, I guess after I grew up, they got paid the roads and stuff, and FEMA came through, and when I was there, we still had outhouses. And I left in '67. And they were just getting rid of, you know, the outhouses and stuff like that, and integrating high school. I went to all black high school, but they started integrating the high school in, you know, late '67, and you grew up, you know, like I said, everybody knew each other, and all the parents knew each other, all the kids knew each other, and with no killing and cutting and stabbing and stuff like that. We fought. Everybody fought, because most of, you know, everybody had kids. Most people had a bunch of kids. And everybody knew each other. You know, my oldest brother had guys a little older than him, and some around his age, a little younger. And then I had my next brother the same way. He had a bunch of guys around his age. Then my sister had girls her age and me. Then I had a younger brother and sister. And so, you know, like I said, everybody knew each other, and wasn't no violence and stuff like that, cutting and stabbing and stuff. But like I said, people fought and stuff, because like I said, everybody knew each other and everybody knew each other's circumstances that there wasn't nobody down there rich and stuff, you know, so. And as far as go, you know, your main responsibility, as long as you stayed at home when I come up until you got 16, 17 years old, ready to leave and stuff, you do whatever you want to do through the week, but on Sunday, you get up and go to Sunday school every Sunday. And I went to join the church when I think I was about 12, 11 or 12, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. And they had another church, First Baptist, you know. Some people went to First Baptist, some went to Mount Zion, but my parents went to Mount Zion, so we get up every Sunday, we go to Sunday school, come back from Sunday school, we go to church. And after that, you did what you want, basically what you want to do, but you're gonna go to church, Sunday school every Sunday. And you know how little kids used to. Kids now, we used to act up, kind of start acting up and playing in church and stuff, and oftentimes at night you try to keep from making eye contact with your parent, with your mother. Because once you make contact with your mother, you know, you look at her, she give you that eye, you know ain't gonna be no more playing or talking or nothing. You ain't got to say nothing, you just make that eye contact. And a lot of people, you know, that grew up down south, they know what I'm talking about, because when we was coming up, it was like your father worked, well, where I'm coming from, mostly your father worked, and your mother raised the kids and stuff, and I be talking sometime, me and my wife be talking, and they be talking to the kids and telling about the parents and stuff down there. It wasn't no such thing as child abuse, because you did something wrong, you're gonna get a whipping and stuff. And that's just plain and simple as that, you know. You know, we're not talking about, you know, you're abusing your child and stuff. You do something wrong, you're gonna get a whipping. And sometimes you do something wrong around another parent, they might whip you and stuff. It wasn't no, you whip my child or this, that, and another. They whip you and bring you home and tell you why they whip you and stuff. And then your mama gonna whoop you again, probably. Your mama or parent, daddy will whoop you again, more than likely. But wasn't a whole lot of, like I said, people fought, people got along, people, you know, wasn't no crime. Cause ain't nothing down in the steel, nobody have nothing. It was back in 60, when I graduated from high school in 67. But most of the time, kids down there, when they turned 12 or 13, 14 years old, because when I graduated from high school, from the 9th grade to the 10th grade, I paid for my own home. You know, you graduate from 9th grade to the 10th grade, you get buy your own suit. I bought and paid for my own suit, my shoes, everything. Same thing when I graduated from high school. You know, you go out and get a little job, start out picking cotton and stuff. Most people down there, I don't know about my father, they probably pick enough before they left home and stuff, but we pick a little cotton, cut some grass, bale hay, we did whatever we did, you know. It was to make some money. But from the time I said from 1 up until 10, 11, 12, you stayed at home. You basically at home and stuff. And my son asked me, did my mother work? My mother worked, but she didn't work until my older sister got old enough, I say around 12 or 13, when she got old enough to cook and run the house and wash and stuff. And after her, we had a brother older than her, 2 brothers older than her, so they were basically out 15, 16, and one of my older brother maybe 16, 17, 18 maybe, and my younger brother older than that when we was 15 or 16, so they was basically out, in and out, working, doing whatever. My older brother probably had left home by then, but most of the young girls down there, most of the women down there, I can't remember a whole lot of them working for years and years and years when I was coming up, because like I said, most of the women down around the same age, and most of them had kids around the same age, so they were basically raising kids and stuff up until the time that they're the oldest daughters and stuff, learn how to cook. And most of the girls down, young ladies down there, back in my day, they know how to cook and iron and wash and clean houses and take care of kids and stuff, because most of them had little young sisters and brothers. And once they got old enough to run the household, they gave their mothers and parents a little bit more freedom, because they can cook and then they can watch the kids, so the mother can go out and work, if she wanted to. If she didn't work, she didn't want to, she didn't work. The father, did all the work, and the boy got big enough to work and stuff, so they help out and stuff. Most of I go out, if I make $2, I end up getting mama $1. Back in them days, $1 lasts go a long ways and stuff. But I can't remember not begging, asking my mom for no money, maybe since I was about 14 years old. After that, I was basically taking care of myself and stuff. During the summertime, we had a place called Ross and Perina where they processed chicken, but we called it chicken plant. And that's why most of the women work, because they work, at the chicken plant. So during the summertime, we go up there and get a job, work for 3 months, and during that 3 months, you go to put the clothes in the layaway, for your school clothes. For the next school, you put the clothes in the layaway, and about time school open up, save your little money, and you got a little money, you start your little saving account, you got a little money in your saving account, and you got all your school clothes, boom, go to get them out the layaway, so you set for the school year and stuff. So, this just different breed of people now than there were back then. Even like when I was coming up, we were from junior high school to senior high school, we were just like different than night and day, because all the people we basically knew was people that you grew up with, you went to school with and go to church with and everything else. But then when you go to a different, we would bus from where I stayed to a place called Pell City, Alabama. So we would bus from Acma to Pell City. I said maybe about 15, maybe miles or something like that. But on the way, from where I stayed, we picked up kids in other little metropolitan little towns and cities and stuff, because everybody going to the same school. And you don't realize how important education is, and how school, sometimes, like I said, when I come up, and then you get to graduate to the 12th grade, and then you go out into the world, you don't realize how much you done missed, or how much people from other different parts, cities and towns or whatever, big metropolitan cities, whatever, states, and how much different your education is than theirs and stuff, And I talked to a person, that I graduated with, a young lady, well, not a young lady, but she said when she left Alabama, she went to stay in Chicago for a while, and she said the same thing that I said. She didn't know how much that she didn't know, for our school system were down in, then I said maybe up here in Detroit and stuff. So even like when we was coming up, we get all the old, when they change over, get the new buses, white kids get the new bus, and we get the hand-me-down buses. Same thing with the football equipment and stuff. They get the new equipment, then they hand the old equipment down to the blacks and stuff, But then, like I said, they started integrating it back in the latter part of, now where I come from, the latter part of 67, and stuff, so. But, it's, people made it, and you think about it now, especially, like I said, I really praise the old guy, all the men, down in my neighborhood where I grew up at. Like I said, everybody had families, and most of them were illiterate, they didn't go to high school or graduate from high school and stuff, Some of them know how to read and write a little bit, and some might be a little bit more than others. But everybody had their driver license, and everybody can drive, and everybody can do things, you know, raise, a lot of people raise crops and stuff, but everybody most down there, you know, but raised had a little garden or stuff, or some cows, one or two had cows and chicken, hogs and stuff, pigs and stuff like that. So people made it, you know, let's live. It wasn't no, like I said, people made it and everybody knew each other, and people lived in harmony, you know, and got along, worked. You got a job, you work, you got a job, boom, get work, you know, like most old guys that I grew up with, come along with my father and stuff, they like I said, everybody had a job, they get up and go to work, in the evening time, they come home and drink their little white lightning, corn whiskey, some of them, we had a few alcoholics and drunks get drunk and stuff, women, men and women. And people play cards, dominoes. That's most of the time people play dominoes and stuff. Like, sometimes they get together on a Wednesday, certain houses play dominoes and stuff like that. And you kill a hog, that was like a festive occasion. You know, 2 or 3 of the guys in the neighborhood, the men in the neighborhood, could show up with their knives and stuff, and they ready to go, you know, and you know, that was lifetime, you know, we thought we was in hog heaven, you know, and then just like back in the medieval time with the Fred Flintstone, you know, compared to other people, you know, like my mother had a sister live in Birmingham and stuff, and like I said, when we had outhouses and stuff, and they had inside plumbing and everything. And we had outhouse, but we had water, but it was outside. You know, outside hydrant. You know, you get a big, what we call a foot tub, and we put it on like had a little shelf, and we fill that up with water, and we put where we sit. And we had a dipper, and everybody drank out the, you know, think about it now, everybody dip down in there and drink out the dip. Sometimes your mama catch you. She didn't want you drinking out the dipper, but you sneaked and did it anyway. And you had glass there for you to drink out of and stuff, and wood stove. We had wood stove, even in the junior high school. You know, we had wood stoves and stuff, and heaters. You call it heaters. And Mama get up in the morning. Well, it was hand-me-down jar for making it fire. First, my older brother did it, then my next oldest brother did it, then it was my turn, then my youngest brother. Well, by the time it got to my youngest brother, you know, we had a gas stove by then. But you had to make a fire, put coal. You had buckets, fill your buckets up with coal and bring it inside the house, and you had your wood there. And we used to go out in the woods, you know, get wood, like oak wood, and we call it kindling. That was the pine wood, you know, you get that to start the fire. And then you put some other oak wood, harder wood, and then you once it start burning real good, you put the coal in there. And Mama, you know, she cooked anything they wanted to cook. And, you know, some of the store had top oven. They had a side oven, then some had like a top oven too and stuff, you know, so you make the fire in there and cook. And then we had like a foot tub, then we had a big bathtub, that was you bathed in, the big bathtub and stuff, you know, and heat your water up on the stove. There wasn't no water heaters and stuff like that. Then when we got the gas stove, you got a big old tank out there in the back. People come out, you know, gas started running low, and well, we had a telephone because my dad, while he worked at people, you know, they were pretty cool with them, so they put us a phone in and stuff. So we had a telephone, but a lot of people didn't have a telephone back then in them days and stuff. And you call the gas company and they come out and tell them how much you want. And they come out there and bring you want 50 gallons, they bring you 50 gallons, 40, whatever, and fill the gas tank up. But that was at the end of my career, end of my time frame at home, because I graduated in '67. Once I graduated, I left when I worked for maybe about 4 or 5 months. And then I left, and I had a friend of mine that came up here. He had a couple of brothers that living here, so he came there and visited and stayed. So then told me to come, once when I come. So I saved up a little money and got my ticket and left. That was in, I think it was about August of '67. Come up here and looked around for maybe a couple of weeks, a week or so, and put in a few applications, and I got called by Chrysler. And got called by Chrysler. That was in '67. I worked from '67 on the assembly line, spot welding. And that was in '67. Worked from '67 to '69. I got called, for the military. And but I worked 2 years, '67. Yeah, but almost 2 years before I was drafted into the military. That was in '69, March of '69. And I went from the military back to the Chrysler. You get your job once you I just got 90 days to get back to your job once you do your time, once you get out of the military. So did 2 years in the military. That was so like I said, when I come back from the military, I went back to Chrysler. But I got drafted in '69, from March of '69 to March of '71, and got drafted, went to Vietnam, did a lot of growing up after I, got drafted and stuff. I can say they teach you, in some respect, they teach you how to be a man because they teach you discipline. And discipline got a whole lot to do with being a man and being a person in any way, form, or fashion and stuff. Discipline. Got to have discipline in your life and stuff. And got drafted, and I remember when I first got drafted, just to go to show you how things carry over and stuff, down in the processing center down in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, where they process you. Like I got drafted when I got moved up here. I didn't change my draft board, so I got drafted from Alabama. I was drafted out of Alabama resident. So remember this old E6 told me, told a bunch of guys, we was just talking, never volunteer for anything in the Army and stuff, sometimes, stuff goes, people tell you something, offer you information and whatever, and you don't really think about it, so, it don't really relate to you at that moment, at that time and stuff, so. And I remember, going through basic training and started out, talking to a couple of guys that I went to school with, we went to basic training at the same time, and a couple more guys, you had how to talk to and kind of hung out with for a minute, and stuff like that. We decided, man, let's, we all going to Vietnam. Sometime everybody gonna go. I heard that one guy, I heard that you signed up for an extra year, you won't go to Vietnam. So we all decided to go sign up for an extra year. Yeah, we sign up for an extra year. We can go to aircraft maintenance and stuff. We don't have to go to Vietnam. So yeah, I'm going. I got down to the place and stuff. Started thinking about it, I remember my mama always told me and told us, don't be running with a crowd and stuff, cause whatever, something happened, you're going to be charged or you're going to do whatever it is, get blamed for whatever it is, even if you didn't do it and stuff. And back when we was coming up, it was like the mamas and stuff, they ruled the nest, so you kind of, whatever they said, what was it, whether sometimes was it right or wrong, or had been proven or what, you know. It is what it is. That's what Mama said, you know. And me and I'll be talking sometime and about them mamas and stuff. You know, when I grew up, it was the same thing as capital punishment. All of them would still been in jail for the child abuse because you did something, they whooped your ass, and that's it. So all of them would still probably been on death row by now. I know my mama would for many whoopings I done got. Anyway, got drafted, went to basic training. Anyway, I was signing up for the extra year, and started thinking about it. You know, I'm glad I got a mind of my own. You know, and good when you know right from wrong, and then you act on what you're gonna do right, what you're gonna do wrong. And I started thinking about what that sergeant said and stuff, and he been in the Army for a while. You know, he's sick. He ain't just got in there yesterday, so he been in for a while and stuff. I started thinking, he must know what he's talking about. Shit on the phone. I said, I told the guy, I said, man, I don't think I'm gonna sign up for the extra year. Went on through basic training and got through basic training. No, that was AIT. What was it? Anyway, went through basic training and stuff. Anyway, then I went through AIT. That's advanced infantry training. You know, after you go to basic, you got to go to another, I think it's 6 months, 6 weeks or whatever, advanced training and stuff. And I think maybe when we signed up for the extra, maybe. And then, anyway, we got out and went to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam. I don't know why they went, because we went separate ways and stuff. Anyway, before then, I was going through basic training. You know, you get there just thinking about sometime that in March, first week in March, I was on the assembly line in Detroit. In August, I was in the jungles of Vietnam, you know, just that quick, 20 years old, you know, boom, you know, something hit you just that quick, you know, and being 20, you know, you don't know nothing, you know, it's just part of life and whatever and stuff. But anyway, when I went to Vietnam and got back, they was, you know, a couple of guys, hey man, first thing they said, they tricked us, you know. We went to Germany, you went to Vietnam, now you come back from Vietnam, we getting ready to go to Vietnam. So they didn't trick y'all the ones signing for the extra year. As I remember what the guy told us down at the E6 told us, don't volunteer for nothing in the Army. You know, they always got a little stuff to pull the tricks on you and stuff, you know. And went through basic training. And it was hard, you know, like I said, you were away from home and stuff. And lonesomeness is much, you don't know nobody. But then, you know, you start thinking about words. Then you look around, and there's 200 and 300 up until in all different companies. 1,200 other guys in the same position that you in. So you stop and thinking about it, dang, you here and that's it. You might as well make the best of it. So that's what you did and stuff. You know, when we graduated, we had at the end of your graduation, you had to go through this physical endurance test, and like everybody had to do it. You know, we had a run, dodge, and jump. You had the carry man, 60 yards. You had to low crawl. You had to do the monkey ball. You had to run a mile. You had to do all these different things. You know, one behind each other at the end of their graduation and stuff. And you got the highest score you can get was 500. And out of 1,200 people, I said in our graduation class of 1,200 people, I just said Alpha Company, Bravo Company, Charlie Company, Delta Company. I'm not definitely sure it was either 26 or 56 people that made the 500 out of the 1,200. And I was one of the 56 people. You get a chance to take a picture with your company commander and they give you a plaque, and I had a picture taken with the company command, and had a plaque, and plaque ended up getting all picture and everything. My mother and them house caught on fire and burned up, and all that got destroyed in the house and stuff. So, but I just made up my mind. If anybody else can do it, once you think about it, I think about it now. I wasn't thinking that deeply then. If anybody else can do it, I can do it and stuff. And think about all the other people that went ahead of you, went through basic training. Some of them volunteered. Some of them were drafted and stuff. I was drafted, I didn't volunteer and stuff, but did about 2 years. And went through basic training, went through AIT, did 30 days at home, then you go to Vietnam and stuff, and then that's another experience altogether. There, like I said, 20 years old, and soon, first night you get over there, you got to pull guard. Once the plane land, you go get sign your weapon and stuff, and get your backpack and clothes and whatever else, and boom. That night you got to pull guard, give you a gun, put you on the truck, take you out on the perimeter, they call it Cameron Bay. That's why we landed in Cameron Bay. That's why they had 2 places that I knew of. That was Benoit and Cameron Bay. And when they landed big jumbo jets and stuff, so Cameron Bay, where everybody, that's why you land when you first get over there to get processed and stuff. And they had just, and that's why the big main hospital, well, you had those surgery, big surgeries and catastrophic injuries, when you're in Vietnam, that's why they send you to Cameron Bay, where, that was the big hospital, the main, like the University of Michigan, our big main hospital, that was the big main hospital for catastrophic injuries and stuff. They had other hospitals for minor injuries and stuff, but you get them big injuries, that's where they sent you and stuff. And they had been attacked the night before. They said they had come in, and set off some grenades and stuff in different places, and my first night over there, you don't know what to expect. And you didn't expect to be out there pulling no guard. And anyway, you sign, you get a gun and stuff, and you go to the barrack and they tell you you're gonna be pulling guard and what time you're gonna be. Say so you're gonna pull guard from 12 to 2 or 2:30, whatever. And then they come out, bring somebody else out to relieve you and stuff. So when that time comes, you get on the back of the truck, they take you to a spot to pull guard. And they took me in this little, well, I ain't gonna say a little white guy, but me and this white guy took us out on this pier, like, dock pier, like, where the Army Corps engineer had made this pier. And I say maybe about 5 feet wide, 4 feet or 5 feet wide. Anyway, it was be floating on, floating on the water. And I say maybe went out maybe about 40 feet, 35 to 40 feet, maybe even might be a little bit further out in the South China Sea. That's why, out in the South China Sea, and the waves come in and pier making noise, move up and down, making noise and stuff, and you sitting there, you're already scared and stuff, cause first night in Vietnam and whatever, and the sergeant, took us to the end of the pier and told us I sit down one way, and we were sitting like back to back. And, I'm covering this here and all this way, and then the other guy, he covered that part and all that way and stuff. And so I told us, okay, you guys, I'll be back and pick y'all up at so time. And don't load your rifle until you see or hear something. And then he walked back halfway, he got about halfway that pier, and I locked and loaded at them, locked and loaded at them 16. And the white guy said, Sergeant said, don't load the gun till you sit. I said, hey, Sergeant sit out here on this pier by, gonna sit out here with an empty gun. Say, Sergeant don't know, but Sergeant don't know ain't gonna hurt him. I'm not gonna sit out here on this pier with an empty gun. So by the time he got halfway that pier, I had locked and loaded already. And did my year over there. Good time. Well, I said, it wasn't all bad times and stuff, because I walked point for 9 months. And we was coming in out the field one evening. First day I had walked point a little bit that day, because they had brought in some new guys and stuff, and usually when they bring in new people, they change over point men and stuff, but I walked for about 2 or 3 other people, and I just walked point and for 9 months, until the day I got out the field, really. And I got the field, and I did 9 months out in the field, and then we was coming in, called to this fire base, LG Jerry. Some of the older people might know what I'm talking about, but it was back in the old, like watching them cowboy in Indian pictures, and they had this fort out there, and the Indians be attacking the fort. So them LGs was just like a fort and stuff. That's why we was out in the field, like I was, while we come in out the field for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 days sometime. That's why we go to the fire base and stuff. And the company rotate. After the company might be out for 7 days, when they leave out, Bravo company come in. Bravo leave out, Charlie company come in. Charlie company leave out, Delta company coming in. So they always had somebody manning the fire base and stuff. And we was coming into LG Jerry, and LG Jerry was always taking incoming. They was always shooting mortars around and stuff. And we was coming in, and we got on the fire. Like I think I was walking rifle. I had just gave the guy the compass and quit walking point, but he didn't get hurt, but our grenadier got wounded, and one of the other guys got wounded, and when I was going down, twisted my back some kind of way and hurt my back and stuff, and I didn't really feel the pain till later on that night, and the next morning after we got into the fire base, and coming into the fire base, like I said, it was always taking incoming, and it was always kind of trying to overrun it, and you come in and you might see while the bulldozers, like when they trying to overrun the fire base and they get caught in the wire, you shooting them, people, whoever on the base. And the next morning they go out there and pull them all out of the wire and stuff, and they might be piled in a pile, and they got a bulldozer, they got a big old berm, and they scoop them over in the berm, in the hole. And I know a couple of times I come in, you might see a jawbone, a piece of you might see a hand, or piece of an arm or stuff, or half of a skull, while that bulldozer, ran over and then just crushed them up and whatever and stuff. And the smell, whew, that's one of the worst smells you can smell, the body, the decaying human body. And that's where it was around Jerry, because like I said, there's always some killing doing, around there and stuff. Anyway, I went from, I was 11 Bravo, that's the infantry, when you're out in the field. And from when I first got over there, and went out in the field, had this one, I hear a lot of guys talking about, they always put maybe that's the look of the draw, but they always put the black guys up in the front, but like you said, 11 Bravo. But when I got over there, I went to First Cavalry, Charlie Company First Cavalry. And when I got out in the field during the monsoon season, rain. And they had this one guy in my company, one guy in my platoon, and we had maybe about 40, maybe 50 some guys, and we had 2 platoons, 2 squads in the platoon. Anyway, but out of all them guys, there was one black guy. So that's why I'm saying, when they people saying, I just let them know right then, it wasn't like that when I in my company, because it was a me and a guy named Milton Moe from Tampa, Florida, Milton from Tampa. And then the other squad, we had another guy, he came in later, a guy named Jimmy. I forgot his last name, but he was from Memphis. So we was like three of us, we was like buddy and stuff. And I said, my whole company member, during the whole time I was out there, the 9 months in school I was out there, I said we wasn't no more than 12 black, 12 black soldiers that came, out in the field. But back on the fire base, they had when I got hurt, I was staying on the fire base, I hurt my back, and I was out there on there about a month. I was down and stuff, and when I finally got together and stuff, and had made friends with some of the, I said maybe about 7 or 8 guys, black guys, and white guys. They were in charge of the mortar platoon. They was in the mortar platoon on the fire base. They shoot the mortar rounds and all around the base at the learning zone at night, and shoot out the flash for illumination and stuff. And I had met a bunch of them, and hooked up with them, and then he went from had this captain. I was hanging around over there all the time and talking to them, and then when they bring the new guys in, come from the state, they had to train them. So I went through the training with them and stuff, and I asked the captain could I transferred from one company to the other. He said they had to have another, but so anyway, they had another guy. He come in. He wanted to get out in the field. He was a medic. He didn't want to be on the fire, but so they ended up trading me, swapping me for him. So I went from 11 Bravo to 11 Charlie for about a month and a half. The last month and a half I was over there, so I was like doing mortar and stuff. So, and anyway, just did my year. Thankful and grateful I made it back home, especially since I've been out and over the years, and see what kind of, learn the facts and how the walk turned out, and how basically they knew it wasn't no win. We couldn't win the walk because we wasn't prepared for the kind of walk that was going on. And basically, we were sitting ducks. We walking around, going from pillar to pole on the ground, and they under the ground picking us all like flies, because out of what, $58,000 something, maybe more, 58,000 people or whatever, 53 or 58, whatever. I think about it now. That's how those guys got so many guys got killed, because they under the ground in their little tunnels and stuff, and we just walking around. When it, boom, 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 all hell done broke loose and stuff. And you returning fire, but what you shoot, you just basically shoot into the wood, to the wood line, and they done dug in, and then the camouflage and stuff, so you can't really, you just shooting, returning fire. But they see us, especially when they first firefight started, boom, we are standing there. So, boom, 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 it might be 20 guys go down at one time, because it depends on how close you are and how far you into the ambush and stuff. Mostly like it be ambushes and stuff. How far you into the ambush and how many guys get killed and hurt and stuff. And I know when I was walking point, sometimes we'd go out with 100, 115, 20, 25, maybe more guys and stuff. And then sometimes, you hear about it, and sometimes company and stuff, you might come back with 75 guys. All of them ain't got killed, but, they got wounded and stuff. They had to be evacuated and stuff. And one of my greatest fears was getting wounded at night. At night, there wasn't no evacuation that night. You get wounded, you basically gone, picked up the next bone in the body bag and stuff. And it was hard for, like I said, until you get used to it and know that you're going to be there for a while, and you just start basically trying to stay alive and stuff. You go there, it's raining, lay down in the rain, get up in the rain. You wet, 5 or 6 months, you just wet, constantly wet. You get a hot meal one time a week on a Wednesday. You bring your hot meal, pick the meal up, bring the meal out, bring your change of clothes. So you bring your change of clothes. So you get your clothes, put them on. Like I said, most of the time it constantly rains. You might have a bar of soap. You stand out in the rain and wash it off a little bit and stuff before you put the clean clothes on and stuff. The rain, wash the soap off, and take the dirty clothes off and put on your clean clothes. And 5 minutes later, you wet again, but you got clean clothes on and stuff. Then you got your hot meal, and then you got your meal and stuff, and that's it. The next day, you get your sea ration. After you get your hot meal, you get your sea ration and you get your ammo and stuff, and send your meal. Got a meal bag to put the meal in the meal bag. And that's it until the next Wednesday. It says hot or whatever, but it gets hot, but it be cold too. Especially after the monsoon season, get hot. Temperature might get up to 115 degrees and stuff, and then you got the heat. Then with the heat come the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes eating you up. Then with the heat and mosquitoes, then you got the leeches. You got to worry about the leeches and stuff. And then plus the Vietnam plus people and stuff. So. But I just think for all the guys that made it back, over there, especially the guys in the infantry, the Marine, whoever in the Marine, the Army and the Marine guys that out there, doing the fighting, and going to walk in the jungle and swamps. Jungle. We got the rubber trees, plantation like stuff, and sleeping on the ground. Sleep on the ground. You got a little blow up the little air mattress. But most of the time you're so tired and weary, you don't think. You just lay the air mattress down on the ground, just lay down on it and go to sleep and stuff, But it's just, once you think about it, it was just, and then and the people that higher up knew it was a waste of time. You ain't gonna win no way for you to win. And basically, it was just like, to me, almost like suicide once you think about it. For like the guys that are doing the fighting. It was more like a suicidal mission for you out there, and I'm pretty sure most of the guys that over there in the infantry field think about it the same way that I do. That we was just sitting ducks, we down in their trenches and stuff, and dug in, and we just toodalooing on by, and they just picking us off, and left and right. And in time, the guys, said. Only really thing I know about 11 Bravo and 11 Charlie. I know 11 Charlie it's the mortar platoon, and 11 Bravo is the infantry, foot soldiers. And I was one of the foot soldiers, and I empathize with all the guys that went over there and made it back, and because we was just pawns and stuff. And I know a couple of guys. One guy I know got hurt real bad, got both his feet blown off. And one guy, a couple of guys that I went to school with, a couple of guys I went to school with, ended up getting killed. But I'm pretty sure a lot of guys that I took basic training in AIT probably didn't make it. But I'm thankful, that I made it back. And did my 2 years. Probably would have did more, but if I had to change my MOS, I might have probably stayed in a couple more years or more. But once they told me they couldn't change my MOS, which was infantry, I got out, left in 71, come back to Chrysler. Worked at Chrysler, worked at Max Stamping from 71 when I got back until 82. Arc welding, learn how to spot weld first. And then I learned how to arc weld, so I started arc welding. Left from Max Stamping closed down, so we was, they sent people to different companies. I ended up going to Sterling Stamping. Worked out there on the assembly line, called it the rail line, K-frame. Worked out until about 85, 82, maybe to about 85. Then I changed went from arc welding to die setting. So I went die setted from 85 until 2009. 2009 when I retired and stuff, and 40 years, worked 40 years. I had get your 2 military years, so I ended up with 42 years when I retired, and you think about 40 years out of your life working, and then think about the other 2 years that you worked before I got to Chrysler, but it was like, it became routine, if you wanted anything, you got to have a job, you start having kids, getting married, responsibility to come, and that's what you do, you think about, like I said, you think about what your dad and them did and how hard it was for them. It was a whole lot harder for them than than it is for us, for me anyway. Got an education, a 12th grade education, know how to read and write, and pretty much, got common sense too, and knowing right from wrong, know what you got to do, know what your responsibilities are, and if you got kids, you got to take care of them. You got a wife, you got to take care of her. Whether she want to take care of where she want to work or not, once you tell her, she say, I do. And she ain't got to work no, if she want to work, she work. If she don't, you don't. Because once you ask her to marry you and you take that responsibility, you're responsible for her and her welfare, because you changing her whole lifestyle. You changing your lifestyle, and you're changing her lifestyle. If she working for you, getting married, she might not want to stop working. That's her comfort zone. Everybody got their comfort zone. People, I'm trying to get all over the board, but it's just part of life and stuff. And people you look at other people and stuff, and sometimes you say so and so died, and we divorced or we separated and stuff, and the first thing we say, I'm so sorry to hear about that. But you never know what the other people went through, or what they gone through, or what they went through when that person was alive, and how that person was treating them and stuff, and you might say you're sorry, but they might not feel that way and stuff, and something when people get sick and I remember when my mother passed and stuff, and my sister told me, later on, that the woman across the street, one of my mother's friends, told her that my mother told her that she was ready to go, but she didn't want to go because she wanted to be here for my sisters and stuff, And so that's, them say that to say this, even though we might want to hold on to peoples and they might be sick, and we might be on to hold on to them and try to do this, that, and other, making decisions and stuff, but they already made up in their mind, they're ready to go, They done did what they wanted to do. They tired. Most of the time they just say they tired. I had several people tell me the same, some of their relatives and people told them the same thing. They said they was tired. And a lot of times, people that are living, even though you're here on earth, you're alive, but you're not really living, Say, for instance, you get in a position where you can't read, you can't see, you can't think, you can't do nothing for yourself. Anything you can do, you just laying there, and your whole existence depend on somebody else. You can't talk. You might can hear most of the time. You can't read. You can't do basically nothing for yourself. Your whole life depending on somebody else. So is that really living, or is that existing? What do you call it? That's what I be thinking about sometimes. And I'm 69 years old. The quality of life, and it's baffling at times. Like so many people say they living they got cancer, they got terminal cancer, and they go to hospice and this, that, and the other, and ain't nothing there they can do for them and stuff. And then people still have hope. People still want to live and hold on to them and stuff, but once the quality of life deteriorates to a certain extent, and it's always, you always have hope and you want to keep hope and stuff, but sometimes you just got to let it go, and whenever one life go past and another one is, coming. You never know that person, what kind of life they had, and, they lived their life and stuff, So whatever they are, whenever they pass, sometimes people say you can do things that to hasten your life and stuff, but it was a plane crash and they got 400 people on the plane and 399 died and one lived. What is that? This just wasn't that person's time. Might have been that, you say you can rush your time and stuff and do that, but then you can do things, one person can do something, and I can get shot one time and die. And somebody else can get shot 10 times and live and stuff, so it's basically like a crapshoot and stuff, Just wasn't your time, or they didn't hit any vital arteries. How come they didn't hit any vital arteries? They shot you 10 times, and then they shoot the next guy one time, boom, he dead instantly, So it depends on why you shoot him at or what. People have been shot in the head and live. People have been shot in the heart and live and stuff. Then, so just life, myself, I'm over the years, life is just live your life, and you have some control over it and stuff. You don't have 100% control. See, if you got 80% control over your life, then you got to make sure you up on that 80% and stuff. You got to stay on top of that. People want, they lose their car and they don't pay get the phone and stuff. Yeah. Whoever owned that car got to be paid. Their bills got to be paid. They come in and tow your car away, and you want to try to stop them. Okay, the only way you're going to stop them, go out and pay what you owe and stuff. Life ain't no gift. It's a gift from God. But then you got to make, everything else after that, you on your own. You got to make your own life. Whatever, whenever you look in the mirror, whoever that person is looking back at you, that's the one that caused you misery or can cause you joy by what they do in life and how they live their life and stuff. And what you do, if you don't go to work and You know you ain't gonna get you work 5 days, or you sit at home in the chair 5 days, you ain't gonna get nothing on Friday. You go to work on Friday, you got something coming and stuff. So you know that. So what do you want? You want nothing or you want something? Eventually that chair you sitting there, it's gonna be gone too, because if it belongs to you, it's gonna wear out and you ain't gonna, are you gonna be able to get another one? If it belongs to somebody else, they're going to tell you got to go, cause get out of their chair. It ain't your chair, so I want my chair. So now you ain't got no chair, and you don't have no chair, and Friday come, you ain't got nothing in your pocket. So what you gonna do? What you do in life is what you do for yourself. You can't help nobody. You can't do nothing for nobody if you ain't in a position to do for yourself. I can't help you tie your shoes if I ain't got no arms. I might tell you how to do it and give you some instruction, but I can't do it. You got to do it for yourself and stuff. You know, people tell you what to do and want for you. Oh, I want this for my child. I want this, that, and another for my child. I want this for my... What you want for yourself, what you do, you go out and get it. You can want for your child now. You can want for your child, but if your child don't want for itself, then that means you got to go out and get it for them too. He got to want it for himself. I don't care how much you want it. If y'all go out there and you go buy a car, if I give you a car, you're going to drive it like you want to, and boom, 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 and if it tear up, it tear up. Oh, well, I didn't have to work for it. Somebody gave it to me. But then once you go out there and work for one, you're going to make sure the oil change. You're going to put new tires on it. You're going to do whatever else is to take care of it, because you paying for it. But if I pay for it, it don't mean as much to you as the things you do for yourself. That's why you your number one enemy, and you your best friend. How you do what you do in life, where you land in life, and how you can't blame nobody else. So because any situation that's been in that you get in, somebody else already been in it. Somebody been through it, somebody in it now, and somebody waiting behind you to come through. You know, it's just a revolving door. Somebody had cancer, got killed. Somebody got cancer now. Being treated for cancer, and then somebody being diagnosed with cancer and stuff. So, you know, it's just on and on and on. What you gonna do? You're not the first one that had cancer. You're not the first one that being cured of cancer. You're not the first one being diagnosed. So you can't say, war is me, war is me. Okay, war is me. Boom. After you say war is me, okay, now what? What am I gonna do? You can't see and say every day war is me, every day war. That ain't gonna work. War is me every day. You got to come up with a plan to get that war is off of me. You know. So that's why, you know, the point yet in life is what you did to prepare yourself to be in life. Like, you know, one day you're gonna get old. You're gonna work. You're going to go to work, get up and go to work, and one day you're going to get old, not to say old, but one day you're going to retire and stuff. But having a good work, you know, good work ethic. And I know, you know, my wife is younger than, you know, 5 years younger than me. And I've kind of lost my train of thought then. But I was like, anyway, I was saying war is me and stuff, but it's not war is me. It's what you do for yourself and what you want in life, and how you go about getting what you want in life and stuff. You know, sometimes people can get breaks and just boom, straightforward, and boom, things happen. Just like you go to the casino. Sometimes you sit there all night and you play and pool and do whatever, and the person come next to you and put it, you know, pull the thing one time, and boom, and the bell start going off and stuff and whatever. But so, and sometimes it's just the luck of the break. You know, you make your break sometime, and And sometimes you're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get knocked down. You get back up. You don't just lay down and give up. Wait for somebody to come pick you up. So suppose somebody don't come pick you up, you just knocked down. You just laying there, still there, and just waiting. A whole week passed. You still laying there. If you gonna get up or not? No, I'm waiting for somebody to come pick me up. so, so I try to live every day, best I can, and aches and pains and stuff, And every day I get up, I thank the Lord. I say, Lord, I thank you for this day. Anything else after that, I can deal with it, because, hey, if you don't wake up, it's all over then, so you got an ache of pain, boom, you take a pill, keep on moving, Knee hurting, you put that brace on. Back hurting, you put that brace on. You keep on moving, because, hey, I'm alive, I'm still here. That's better than doing whatever you got to do to take care of yourself while you're here than giving up and say, hey, that's it. Whatever, where you want to go and what you want to do and things you want to do. You do in life is, you got, preparation. You got to prepare yourself, and you start preparing yourself. I just say, I start preparing myself for life once I said 12, 13, you kind of start living, understanding things, and then you start, you're seeing things and noticing things more as older you go and older you get. You got a life from 13 to 20, and then you got a life from 20 to 30, and, it's a constant growth in your life. What you did when you was doing this, how you want to do that, and when you get a job, you got to get up, go to work, sit your clock go all boom, you go back to sleep. I did that too, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did it. The thing about that is, I only did it one time, because I knew the next time I sit the clock, if it go off and I turn it off, who's gonna wake me up? I wake up again an hour later, and now I'm late for work. Boom, now I got to rush to get to work and stuff. Then when you're rushing and stuff, chances you might have an accident, a whole lot of stuff can go on because you're rushing to get to work. That's basically the only thing on your mind and stuff. You're not thinking about other people's traffic and how they drive and what they thought pattern. Somebody else might be rushing too, trying to get to work and stuff too. So basically, I try to, even now, whenever I got to go somewhere, we plan on, me and my wife and stuff, plan on going on a trip and stuff. And I tell her, sit the clock at 5:30. Clock off at 5:30, boom. I get right up then. I don't wait till 5:01, 5:02, whatever. As soon as the clock go off, boom, I turn the clock off, I get up right then and stuff. I guess that's come from working and stuff. You got a job, you go to your job and stuff, Like back when I was working in, one while we had like perfect attendance, you work so many, I'm not sure, I can't remember the whole thing, but I think you might work 3 months or 90 days, and you get a check, for perfect attendance and stuff. So I got that a few times. A few more guys that I know, work with, they got it and stuff. You got a job, you got a family, you go to work. You got bills, you go to work. Be there, when the line starts, you got to be there. You can't be on your way there because you part of a team. Line starts, you ain't there, that means somebody else got to take your spot. Line started at 7 o'clock, you sitting right there, whistle blow, line start, boom. Start taking care of business. You can't be still in the locker room or head down the aisle, your work ethics and stuff. And when I was saying a while ago, my wife was saying good credit. For, good credit is a poor man's best friend. And, I didn't really understand that, but she told me that a long time ago. You got good credit. if you ain't rich, you're gonna need some good credit. So you're gonna need to keep your credit together, because you need to have to have different credit, get a charge card, and then you look at your credit credit record when you go to apply for a loan and stuff. Your credit got to be good, so you got that good credit, you can just about get whatever you want to, and that's how a whole lot of people maintain for years and years and years. They keep their credit together. You ain't got nothing else going for you. You can just that good credit go a long ways and stuff, for life and stuff, but everybody got their own, way of doing things. You wonder how other people do this and other people do that, why other people got this and why other people got that, but you can have the same thing. You might go by getting it differently and stuff, Some people work for what they got, and some people scheme to get what they want and stuff, and some people rob and steal and do whatever. But the final thing thought it comes how you feel about yourself, how you feel about what you're doing, how you feel about how you got what you got and stuff, how you feel about dealing with other people and stuff, and some things that really hurt me, and I thought about, this year, and I was looking at some of our young men and stuff, and our young women and young ladies, and how these guys, when I was coming up, men, guys fought and fought and fought. Even now they fought with their fists, but now it's basically shooting with guns. But anyway, what I was saying, I was just looking at these young guys, how they would just rail back and just hitting these young women and guys at the police officers at the hospitals and in other cities and different places and stuff, how our young men just hit and abuse our young ladies and young women without any, thought about it. You hit them women, you hit a woman like you hit a man. And think about that. Think about that. Suppose that was your mama. Somebody was hitting like you hit that woman. Suppose that was your daughter. Suppose that was your sister, your aunt. And would you think that you feel in your heart and feel in your mind that you can hit a woman like you hit her? Is it all right for me to hit your mama like that? Is it all right for me to hit your sister like that? What would you think about if you see me, if you walk on, you turn your TV on, you just knock some woman out and beat a woman up, or whatever, for whatever reason, hit them like, Mayweather hitting somebody, and just punch them as hard as you can and knock them out, knocking out teeth, breaking. Suppose, just think about it, if that was your mama. That person you hitting is somebody's mama. She's somebody's sister. She's somebody's daughter. She's somebody's child. I guess, it's the way you brought up and stuff, you're not taught in it better, you don't know. Maybe they don't know you're not supposed to be, really you're not supposed to hit anybody, but especially a woman and stuff. That's your most prized possession and stuff. But I done had, people, had a pocket full of money. I've been broke. And had my wife or my girlfriend or whoever it might be. But I'm happy, I'm still happy because I got them. And I done had a pocket full of money and still be miserable and stuff. So that person in your life, that personal part, that's why, it's getting to be where there's no person to person in your life, in people's life, because even now, when people call people, they don't answer you because you don't text. Texting taking all the sensitivity out of life, out of knowing people's, and sometimes you might call like my wife and stuff, and we'll be talking sometime, and sometime I might call on the phone, or she, my voice might be different or something. I might be feeling hurting or something like that. But then she can recognize that, And even if she said with her friends and stuff, so wasn't talking real good. She talking this, that, and other. But you can't get that when you texting people. But if you're talking to them on the phone, you can pick up stuff. It's more personal. Like I said, that phone, that texting, taking all the sensitivity out of your relationship. You're not saying nothing. I'm not hearing you. I'm seeing what reading and seeing what you're saying, but I'm not really hearing you and stuff. How are you feeling today? Oh, I'm feeling good. They can be high and dragging the voice, just can't do whatever, but they can text. You might not know they tired or they sick, or they might be drunk. But if they texting, you don't know they drunk. I'm finna go to the store, And then here they so drunk they can't hardly stand up. They can't walk. But they go out there and get in the car and go and kill themselves and 100 more people and stuff, Because you didn't pick up on them being drunk. No, don't you go nowhere. I'll be over there and take it. You don't sound like you able to drive. If I'm texting, but if I'm talking, Oh, man, I'm going to go to the store. Man, you sound like you able to drive. Hold on, I'll be over there and take you. I'll bring you this, that, and another. But if I'm texting you and boom, oh, she finna go to the store. You can't hardly stand up. But you don't know that, so. But that's, that's part of life. You got to grow up and don't blame other people for what you didn't do or your shortcomings and stuff and what you do in life and what you get out of life and what you put into it and stuff, It's just like George, you don't work and you ain't never work and then you get old and come time to draw Social Security, you can't get nothing because you ain't put nothing in there. So if you don't put nothing in, you can't get nothing else. So you don't expect it. You don't put nothing into life and you can't expect to get anything out of life and stuff. And your most prized possession, to me, is your mate. Your mate, wife, whether it's common law or whatever it is. And it don't matter how much money you got. These people dying, billionaires dying all week and every day. But you need somebody there with you when you tired and sick and can't do for yourself. Want somebody to hold your hand and rub your head and talk to you and stuff. And, I value that more. I value my wife more than I do anything that I have. That's material stuff. I don't need I need her more than I need a house. I was gonna say if I can go to a hotel, get a room and stuff, car, whatever. You go out there, the car can break and tear up, break down, get hit, wrecked and stuff, and okay, you can get another car, but that loyalty and that companionship and somebody that care about you and your welfare, that to me, that means more than being a billionaire and stuff, 'cause like I said, billionaires die every day and they can't take it with them. And a lot of them this year several young people have killed themselves, millionaires and got nothing, we think they don't have no problem, but if you ain't got your head right and if that head ain't right, it don't really matter. You got to put yourself first. You can't be putting nobody, you first, if you ain't able to take care of yourself, you can't help your wife, you can't help your son, you can't help your daughter, you can't help your mother and father. And young guys, you got to quit putting your mother ahead of your wife. You can't put your mother ahead of your wife. Your mother belongs to your father. That's your father. Every time some people want to say that's your father's property. She's your mother, but she can't do for you what your wife can do for you and stuff. It's a different love, a love for your mother and a love for your wife. And once you make them say, you take her as your wife, then she becomes the number one woman in your life. Your wife, your daughter's mother, and that order. It ain't mother, wife, daughter. wife is your responsibility. The daughters are part of you, so they come first. Mama gonna always be mama. You can have 10 wives, but mama still gonna be mama, you know, wherever she at. But you got to take care, you got to maintain. Why did you have 10 wives? What was you doing wrong for you to have 10 wives? Mama's still there. Mama's still gonna be mama. You can go to mama and talk about you done messed up another wife and stuff. You got you got to take care of business. You got to take care of your wife. Mama's still there. Still daddy wife. Still daddy property. Daddy responsibilities. Daddy's still there. Still daddy property. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Mama wants something, she ain't coming to you. She's going to daddy, going to her husband. You know, so that's it. You know, that's where I see it. That's why I go by my life and stuff. You know, Lord, praise, and I hope my wife never die. At my age, you know, I need her not more now than I ever needed her and stuff. You know, and try to do everything to make sure she's happy and take care of when she's down and out and stuff. You know, and you need that companion. You need somebody, that companionship, whether it's to help you when you're down and out or whatever, or somebody just to talk to touch, knowing they care about you and stuff. You know, sometimes even if you you don't know, people say like, you know, friends and stuff. I don't have a whole lot of, maybe I can probably count my friends on 3 fingers and stuff, but have a lot of acquaintances, you know, people that you know, but they're not friends. You know, people, you know, a lot of people, you know, you meet them next 2 weeks later, oh, that's my friend. And that's not your friend, you know. You got to nurture and grow friends, you know, just like you do anything else. You know, friends that's gonna pop into your life, and, you know, you got to nourish and grow friends and stuff like you do a crop or whatever. You know, just like, you know, I don't have a whole lot of friends, and I don't like other people know my business or whatever. And people say, oh, so I wanted that. You know, I'm just happy for them. You know, just happy for them because they won. I'm not gonna get mad at them because they won the lottery and I didn't. I'm just as happy as they are because I figure like this: if they can win it, I can win it too if I play. So I'm gonna get mad at them because they won it, and I can't get mad at them. I didn't even play, so why I'm getting mad at them because they win? You got to play to win or do whatever, you know, participate. So that's me. That's who I am. Brother B, you know, that's the way I look at life, and that's the way I see life and try to treat everybody the way I want to be treated, and mind my own business. But then if I see something that I figure need taken care of, then I'm gonna do it. If you gonna go out and rob a bank and I'm standing there looking at you, don't get mad at me if I tell. You know, you shouldn't have robbed it in front of me, you know. Like I remember Farrakhan said one time, if you invite the fox in the hen house, don't be surprised if some chicken come up missing, you know. So you didn't invite the fox in the hen house, you still have your chicken. So you don't invite a whole lot of negative and stuff in your life, and at a certain time in your life, you don't want to deal with a whole lot of stuff. You know, even that some days now, my wife tell me, we need to do this, I want to do this, I want to do, okay, but that's not what I want to do right now. You know, that's what I tell her. That's not what I want. That's not on my mind. I got other things on my mind. You know, you just get a certain age, your brain start deteriorating. You don't hold it. The things you want to maintain and hold, that's what you maintain and hold. Other little trivial stuff or stuff that somebody else done, you know, okay, that's their business. They taking care of that. I ain't got to get involved. I ain't got to be thinking about it. I ain't got to be worrying about it. I just want to take care of me and my business, what I want to do today, tomorrow, or the next day, you know. And that's the way it is. Maybe a lot of people might not like it, but my wife, I tell me, I don't like, when I bought my car, I don't like a Journey. She don't like the pickup truck, but I bought the Journey because, hey, only thing she got to do is ride in it. She don't have to like it. I'm buying it for me. When she bought her car, she bought what she wanted to like. So I might not like it either, but hey, she wasn't buying it for me to like. She bought it because that's what she wanted. So that's where I am, I do things because that's what I want to do and that's what I like. But I'm gonna treat you like I want to be treated, and I'll give you a fair chance, and all I can ask in return is to give me a fair chance, in life for whatever reason, why you do things, and sometimes like wonder, you wonder why you did this, after you done it, things you did when you was younger, things I did when I was younger, got me to where I am now, right now, I don't go back to 2009. The only thing I remember about 2009, basically, that's when I retired. I don't think about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe summer 17. I might think about that. But I'm looking forward to 18, the rest of 18, 19, 20, and 20, and 21. I don't think, if I thought about and got down about how I grew up in life back in the 60s, I wouldn't be who I am now, because I can make it depressing. Your mind, you can make it depressing how you grew up, where you grew up, and what you went through, and the fights that you fought, and the things that you went through. I mean, when I bought my first house, I was paying $350 or $400 for rent, but then had to go every month. I had to go to the gas company, cause my gas bill was $450. So you think about that. That's part of life and stuff. But what you do? You go to the gas company. If you ain't got the money, you go to the gas company and you work out a work plan. You got to do what you got to do to make it in life. You got to do what you got to do. Can't nobody else do it for you. You got to want it. And once you decide you want it, you got to get a plan or figure out how to go get it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Take care of you and be the best you can be. I know a person told me one time, said, I don't know whether they're older than me or my age, or might have even been younger than me. Should always be the best you can be, because you never know who's watching, You might be walking somewhere and digging your pants out your butt, or digging in your nose, or whatever it is. Because, nobody out but you. But then you never know, somebody could be sitting over in the corner every day, looking at you coming in at work. You don't even know that. They would see you. Every day they should look and see you. I wonder what time this person coming in. You to be here by this time. Oh, there they are. Next day the same thing. So like I said, you never know who's watching you. So you got to do the best you can at all times. And that's it for me.
All praises, all praises. That was absolutely magnificent and fantastic. I give my thanks, my humble and great appreciation to Brother Bill for sharing his story with us this evening. It was superb. And so if any of the family out there, they have a loved one who is, let's say, above the age of 60, and they may want to speak on their wisdom, history, and experience, definitely leave a comment or send an email to revelations.unveiled.detroit@gmail.com. We will set up a meeting And this is a fantastic beginning to a new series and an opportunity for our elder live historians, our walking live historians, to put something down as a record for themselves and their families and our family as a nation, so we can hear and learn and appreciate the voices of our people. So, as always, we submit our humble petition before the holy power, creator of eternity, infinity, and the universe. We submit our petition for the opportunity and blessing for another day of the gift and breath of life, so that we may continue to define and refine our steps on the path of righteousness, which is the example of the Messiah, the Holy Power's Word made flesh, whom the world refers to as Jesus Christ, the Holy Messiah, who is the living Word of the Holy Power made flesh. That Word, which was written on stone by the Holy Power's own finger and given to our brother prophet Moses to present to the church, the congregation, the nation of Israel, as a holy covenant to observe and to do and be the living representation of the holy power on earth, so that we may be deemed worthy for entrance into the 12 gates of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Let it be done, so be it. This is revelations.unveiled.detroit. If you did not know, or if this is the first time you've heard it, I love you. I love you. I truly, truly love you. Holy power of creation willing, until we are back together again, my blessings of peace, safety, and security to you, continued perseverance and endurance.